As we mentioned, November is Child Protection and Safety Month, and we have invited our school resource officer from Idaho City, David Gomez, on the show every Monday to give us some effective ways to keep our kids and our teenagers safe in this really fast-paced, high-tech world.
Officer Gomez has over 100,000 followers on Facebook where he shares ways to do just that. And thank you so much for joining us, Officer Gomez. Today we're talking about smartphones and kids. First of all, you don't recommend giving a smartphone to a teen until they're 16, but a lot of parents have already done it. Tell us about why parents should not do that.
Well, minimum should be 13 because all applications actually require you to be 13 before you have an application on your own. 16 is better because there's a lot of predators, a lot of addiction goes on. Your brains just aren't developed at 13 enough to be responsible enough to have a cell phone at that age. So those are just a few of the reasons you should wait till 16, 13 minimum. There's some watches and things you can get under the age of 13 to track your phones if you want to track your kids and see what they're doing and remain connected with them.
Now, Officer Gomez, if you already have a child that you've given a phone to and you're like, oh no, I already did this, and Officer Gomez is telling me I shouldn't have, how important is it to check it? How often should you be doing that? And what should you be looking for? So a lot of questions there.
So you should at least have one of the monitoring programs on there. For Apple, you have a free monitoring device. For Android phones, you have a free monitoring device. Those are easy to install. They're easy to use. Just spend a little time to get used to them. Now, if you have given a phone, you want to check weekly at least, if not more than that. But if you see some changes in your kid that you're not liking, you should check. Right? Familiar yourself with their phone. Check their phones. My number one rule, once you've given a kid a phone, no cell phones in bedrooms. That just causes bad things to happen with kids, especially because they get addicted. They want to be on all night. They're going to find ways around monitoring things. So just make sure that no cell phones go in the bedrooms at night.
Yeah, so phone checks are important, as you're talking about, but also just checking with your kids in general about everything and sort of keeping in tune to that. But how do you talk to your kids about these phone checks and sort of giving them the message that these are important to really keep them safe?
So the phone checks, it's better if you talk to them before you give them the phone, but after you've given the phone, you can still do phone checks. Sit down, have a family meeting, and say, hey, look, this is why we're doing phone checks. We do phone checks because we're your parents, we care about you, we're responsible for you, we love you, and we want to make sure that you're safe on the phones, which kids know that there's unsafe kids all around them and the bad things happen. So they think that parents aren't going to be able to keep them safe, but you can keep them safe. And even if they're not quite responding to you, let them know anyways, because they'll know that it's important to you. And they might think twice when something bad happens to one of their friends or to one of them, that they can't come to an adult, they can't come to a school resource officer to get help if they're in any kind of trouble, which lots of kids end up in trouble on their cell phones.
Oh, they do. And a lot of them come to you, Officer Gomez, because they know they can trust you and that you know what's best for them. So thank you for all your hard work, what you're doing in our schools and on Facebook. We're going to have you back for the next couple of Mondays here in November and have more discussions about how we can keep our kids safe. A lot of parents have their heads in the sand, so it's important to have these talks with you and to get the word out. Thank you for being here.
Appreciate it,
You're welcome.
Officer.
Thanks for having me.
Hey.